All right, y'all. We are back with another video. Once again, shout out to Benny, man. Another great channel that always keeps us updated as well. And when I seen this one, I definitely wanted to check this one out. It said that a black radio host torches Biden supporter to her face. Obviously, it seemed like she was trying to take off for Joe Biden, trying to make claims as if he's better than Trump. And I'm hearing that she's saying that everybody need Joe Biden in order to beat Donald Trump. And I've answered this plenty of times. Joe Biden ain't beating Donald Trump. Obviously, the polls show that right now that ain't happening. So if you remove Joe and you're going to put somebody else in his spot to take on Trump, it really don't matter. Either way it go, nobody is beating Donald Trump. That's just what it is. That right there is just the facts. Those are the facts. So I definitely wanted to check this one out and see exactly what else went on in the video. So make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody been showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on the video for the very first time. And like I said, shout out to the one that always watches their entire video, because that right there really help out a lot. And YouTube will share the video so more people can see my reaction. So like I said, don't forget to hit that like button, because that right there is very important as well. All right, so without further ado, let's dive straight into this, because I definitely want to see exactly what happened and what's going on. Let's see.
Can't sit here.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. So when you are elected to the House of Representatives, that means that you're supposed to represent people and not insult them. It's amazing how this simple binary, though, can't even be reached by the low IQ members of the Democrat Party and people currently serving in our Congress. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, a real, actual, current member of Congress, a representative in the House of Representatives, saying this about her home state.
Ms. Perry, I know your organization, the Heritage Foundation, loves Texas. Ooh, they love Texas. They always sending us some nonsense bills that somehow set this country on the wrong trajectory. They send them to Texas. They send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
Okay. Like, moving beyond the inability to speak the English language, let's go quickly and do some research, okay? This is Crockett's, that representative's named Jasmine Crockett. This is her website. Now, first off, it's always in the eyes, okay? It's always in the eye. You can always tell if someone is like literally insane in the eyes. You can always tell. Number one giveaway, the eyes are the gateway to the soul, they say. Let's go ahead and look here. Here is Jasmine Crockett's district here on her current on her website. So let's see. It says Dallas. What state is Dallas located in? Oh, the state of Texas. Got it. So when she says it's a deplorable state, she calls her own state a deplorable state. Texas Congresswoman calls her state and Florida deplorable.
Wow.
In House hearing. Oh, okay. Not sending their best. Not sending their best, as Donald Trump would say. But here we have Jasmine Crockett on The Breakfast Club earlier today, talking to Charlemagne the God about what it was like when Donald Trump was elected. Now, she just slandered her own state as deplorable. What does she have to say about, well, the deplorable president?
Fear. I remember when Trump got elected, I was researching what it would take for me to get my dual citizenship, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna need to get up and out of here. That was a fear moment for me. And a number of my colleagues, especially in my current class, were like, that's when they got engaged and was like, wait a minute, ain't nobody coming to save us. I'm gonna have to step up and save us.
So what you're saying is that you so dislike democracy and you so dislike America, which is, by the way, anybody who ever says they're gonna leave the country if some person is elected, candidate X, whoever is elected, those people just hate America.
Yep.
Just that's just a clear binary.
Yep.
Okay? Like, that means you only like this country if you get your way all the time. Spoil a child, take your ball, bring it home.
It don't work that way.
Leave. The answer to this should always be leave. Go. Get out. If you hate this country that much, well, you're not deserving of it, leave. Go. Costa Rica, Cuba, North Korea. I'm sure there's plenty of places that will take you. But it is, in fact, the creation of vectors of permanent power that the left is totally hell-bent on. And that is precisely why Jasmine Crockett explained why they must have Joe Biden win in 2024. By the way, let me tell you, not a great messenger, Jasmine Crockett. But please keep doing media.
For sure gonna lose if we don't have Joe.
So if there's 50 other people he thinks he could beat that could beat Trump, he needs to step aside.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this. First of all, it's not gonna happen. Since my filing deadline is going to be on Monday in Texas. Like, you don't have time. So the reality is that we don't have time to even get somebody onto all these ballots, not to mention the amount of money that it takes to run campaigns.
Oh, okay. So we got to have Joe. If we don't have Joe, it'll be even worse.
We gonna lose. We gonna lose. We for sure gonna lose if we don't have Joe.
If we don't have Joe Biden, we for sure gonna lose. So, okay, why don't you explain Joe Biden's dementia, which was a question. Like, what? As a person, you're clearly not a patriot. You gladly leave the country if you don't get your way, like a spoiled brat. Can you explain like why it's good to have somebody with dementia Representative Jasmine Crockett of deplorable Texas says Biden's decline and his stamina is a result of the fact that he's getting older and the skills that he used to overcome his speech impediment, well, they are starting to seep back in.
It's on the dementia because I don't want you to think that I'm ducking it at all. The president actually has overcome a speaking impediment. They forget the fact that he actually has a speaking impediment that he actually went through I think speech therapy to try to overcome it. Like, it's not a matter of like you're able to necessarily change that. You learn how to work around it. And I believe what people are seeing is a result of the fact that he is getting older and those skills that he's used to kind of overcome some of that is starting to seep back in.
Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you, somebody who is young and still has a speech impediment and still can't make any sense when they're on camera talking, Jasmine Crockett.
Perception is reality. And so when you look at the data that was provided in this poll, it talks about how people feel. And when people decide whether they're going to the poll or whether they're not going to the poll, it's all about how you feel in that moment. And so while the facts may not align with their feelings are dictating their reality. Their reality is that they said that they feel better or they felt better when Trump was in office.
What an incredible moment. What an amazing moment. Jasmine Crockett was talking about how Donald Trump made things better for everyone. Yeah, what does she go on to say? How does she go on to message for Joe Biden? Oh, this is beautiful.
But we've been trying to push back. We've got some very popular African-American artists that are out here saying things like, oh, I got checks when Trump was in office. I want those checks again, not understanding that that really came from Congress. So we've got a couple of things, the perception issue, and then we also have an issue as it relates to civics in this country and people not understanding exactly how any of this works.
So civics in this country dictates that there is no act of Congress that is allowed until the president signs it. That's like, wait a second. She goes on to say that we need civics in this country without understanding the constitutional blueprint that she even operates under. Congress can pass any budget they want. It's not law. It doesn't happen. Nothing happens until the president signs it.
Right.
So yes, it did come from Trump when you got checks because Congress wrote the bill and Trump signed it.
Exactly.
So like ultimately it does actually land at the president's desk.
Right. It lands at the president's desk. Ben is exactly right. Like, I don't know what is wrong with her. Oh, black people were happy because they got the checks when Trump was in office. See, the problem is that a lot of them try to go on these shows and just make it seem like the black people like Trump just because of the check, just because he wrote check. No, it's more than that. It was just things was better when Donald Trump was in office, not just because he signed a check. Was that part of it? Yes, I'm pretty sure it was. But the thing is, a lot of blacks like Trump more than just because he signed a check. It's the things he was doing. Everything was better. You didn't see groceries and stuff like sky high. You didn't see gas and stuff sky high when Trump was in office. So anytime somebody think, or I hear somebody say, well, we need Joe Biden because we can't beat Donald Trump without Joe Biden. How can she say that? It was just weird to me that she just said something like that. We need Joe Biden to be done. How you need Joe Biden to be Donald Trump when Joe Biden is getting torched in the polls by Donald Trump right now? She literally said we need Joe Biden. Every time I hear somebody say that Joe Biden is going to get reelected, this is the type of laugh that I like to do. Like, come on now. Joe Biden ain't winning nothing. He ain't finna get reelected. That ain't finna happen. That right there is just not finna happen. Look at all that illegal immigrants he done let over the border. Won't you talk about that, Miss Jasmine? Won't you talk about that? How he let all these illegal immigrants across the border. Let's talk about it. It's like, come on now. I'm telling you, people be trying to move the goalposts and stuff, and that's the lie that they like to spread on Donald Trump about black people. Oh, he wrote the checks. That's why black people like him. That's why black people want Donald Trump back in office, because he wrote a check. Like, see, that's the narrative that they always try to paint. That makes it like black folks only like Trump because of the check, which they ain't looking at that blacks like Trump because he did way more. The checks came later. Think about what was going on before then. Wasn't nobody complaining about gas. Groceries weren't sky high like it been now since Joe Biden been in office. Look what's been going on since Joe Biden been in office. It has been terrible. And I think we can all agree with that. So, like I said before, anytime I hear somebody say Joe Biden is going to beat Donald Trump and get reelected, this is what I think about it. Come on now, that right there is not going to happen. Let's get back to it.
Desk. But we need more civics in this country. Yeah, there's somebody else that Jasmine Crockett was recently talking to that understood we need Trump back in this nation. Charlemagne the God.
Man, where's Trump?
Yeah.
Get this motherfucker out. Motherfuckers, they feel like they would rather get it raw.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? At least we know where that motherfucker's spent. These motherfuckers is gassing us up, lying to us, promising us and didn't deliver. Like, I cannot wait to see, and I'm already watching it. I'm watching Democrats start the campaign. They're already like,
Hillary,
you gotta go out there and vote. Like, democracy depends on it. I'm like, when y'all gonna start governing like democracy depends on it? No, for real.
Oh man, listen. I probably disagree with Charlemagne the God on 95% of everything, 99% of everything. I don't really watch his stuff that closely, but it is these moments where you're like, we deserve a better class of political leaders.
Yep.
And I totally agree with that. I'm hypercritical of Republicans on my side. I do not. Mitch McConnell is not a Republican. By every measure, Mitch McConnell is simply a Democrat from 5 years ago, at best. Like, and of course, we're very critical of Republicans in Congress all the time. But he's one of the few people that has intellectual honesty on the left and is like hypercritical of people like Joe Biden.
I'm running again?
Joe Biden, man, Biden. Listen, when you start your video off saying whatever, you put out your statement and it says, you're in condition to run.
Get out of here, bro. Democrats are goofies, bro. Look how goofy y'all are. Y'all really judge Trump and people who like Trump when you got this motherfucker running again?
What did he say?
Freedom,
Oh, Jesus.
personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans. There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred. That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy,
Americans in shambles. I don't give a what he said.
to protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally, and that everyone is given a fair shot at
I'm not
making
listening to 3 minutes of this shit, yo. The world is in
it. You know,
shambles.
around the country.
Aren't you embarrassed to be
Look, bro, they didn't want to hear no more of that. Like, that's what I was saying. They want to talk so bad about Donald Trump, but yet they ignore the facts of what Joe Biden been doing. I mean, the man has been terrible. It's not even close. He has been terrible. Even they just said it. Y'all want to put all the smoke and stuff on Donald Trump and talking about what he did, but then you're letting Joe Biden get away with all the crap that he's been doing. I mean, come on now. Look at our country. Look at wars and stuff going on. Wasn't no wars when Donald Trump was in office. Like, come on now, we just being realistic here. Y'all know me. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to tell it exactly like it is.
Democrat?
America isn't shit. I'm not a Democrat.
So, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
I'm not a Republican either.
Yeah, boy.
I'm nothing.
Yeah, I'm not saying you got to be a Republican.
I'm just out here.
What about you, Chris? You like Biden? You voting for Biden again?
I think we could use a fresh new person on the
That's
scene.
why it's whack that the DNC won't let nobody They won't do no primaries next year, man. Do a fucking primary debate. Put Joe Biden up on that stage with Bobby Kennedy, who's challenging him, and Marianne Williamson, and whoever steps up to the plate, and let's have a fucking discussion, yo.
So that's what honest people say. This is what dishonest people say.
We gonna lose. We gonna lose. We for sure gonna lose if we don't have Joe.
Oh, really? So you're gonna lose if you don't have Joe. Well, what do the numbers say here? Real Clear Politics, which is, of course, the aggregate of all polls, no biases here except for in the actual polling, says this. It really is amazing what happens when the propaganda ends and the hard, brutal pain of reality sets in. Ladies and gentlemen, stay based. Do not vote for Jasmine Crockett if you live in Dallas. She thinks you're deplorable. And stop having such a deplorable person represent you. Charlamagne the guy.
She called her own state deplorable. Ha! I wonder what everybody in Texas think about that. Her calling her own state deplorable. Wow. She said we sure enough gonna lose if Joe Biden don't run. But then if you go look at the poll numbers, I'm pretty sure she's seen them poll numbers. And they are not in Joe Biden's favor. I know she's seen it. But saying we for sure enough gonna lose. You should have said y'all are already losing. Who else you think you can put in there if you remove Joe Biden that's gonna take out Trump? Because the more they keep attacking Donald Trump, the more he's gonna keep climbing in the polls. So he's said this plenty of times. Every time y'all attack me, you ain't doing nothing but just helping me out. So hey, we see it from there. Like I said, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this in the comments section. You know Charlamagne the guy, he don't hold back. He gonna tell you, he gonna tell you like it is. He might do a lot of cussing here and there, but Charlamagne will tell you exactly like it is. Once again, shout out to Benny. I will leave the original video in the description. So make sure y'all go to Benny's channel, show him some love. Appreciate everything he do. Thank you all once again, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.